I'm very happy to see you here again. My name is Smadar Ben-Natan, and okay, I moved from Israel to the United States about over 6 years ago, and for 18 years I've been a human rights lawyer in Israel. I litigated numerous cases in front of the Israeli Supreme Court and virtually in every court over the state of Israel and in the West Bank. I know the Israeli judicial system very closely and the Israeli legal system very closely. Currently, I teach about the Israeli legal system here in Seattle at the University of Washington. I know the system from multiple perspectives, specifically around human rights. And I'm here because of two reasons. Because the coup that the current government is waging on the Israeli judiciary and democracy is detrimental. And because this protest is unprecedented, it's constitutive to the future of all of us. We cannot go back from here. And nothing is more important than taking part in making Israel a better democracy in the future. We are at an unprecedented moment on the part of the government and on the part of the protest. Now I want to say a few short words on human rights and then how it all connects together. Israel's judicial system is under attack by its own government because of many years it has been the almost sole protector of individual human rights and the rule of law. And I will tell you a little bit about this. But first, according to the UN Vienna Declaration on Human Rights of 1993, all human rights are universal, indivisible, interdependent, and interrelated. What does this mean? That human rights work in an ecosystem. Their violation or promotion affects other rights and other people. And we should therefore fight for all human rights, everything, all at once. Or, in the words of Martin Luther King, injustice everywhere, anywhere, is a threat to justice everywhere. Human rights are achieved through struggles. There are separate struggles happening all the time, but real fundamental change comes when these struggles connect and amplify one another. And a true struggle for a liberal democracy, a democracy that respects human rights, is such a struggle, and this is what is happening right now. So to fully understand this moment, we should acknowledge that there are three interrelated issues, groups, interests, and planned projects which are essential to the current government, and that only their combination explains this historical magnitude, and they were referred to by other speakers this morning. The first of which is the first personal and political corruption of the Prime Minister and other ministers, and and those who are willing to protect them. The second one is an anti-democratic attack on liberal democratic rights and freedoms of Israeli citizens by extreme ultra-Orthodox and religious powers and other anti-democratic powers threatening Israeli citizens from multiple groups, primarily women, LGBTQ, secular, non-Orthodox religious groups, such as Reform and Conservative. This element is similar to the rise of undemocratic, ultra-right authoritarianism in other states, like in Hungary, in Poland, here in the US under the Trump administration, in Brazil, in Italy, and elsewhere. But in Israel, this is bolstered by a lack of separation of state and religion, and a weak system of checks and balances that places the judiciary as the sole protector of both the system of government and the rights of individuals. The third element is the Israeli military occupation and settlement movement in the West Bank currently. A movement that is seeking to annex these territories without giving equal citizenship to the Palestinians living in them, creating a separate and unequal system of government that is anything but democratic. And this is where this government is heading. What is also crucial to understand is that the legal system and the Supreme Court is the last blocking all of these three projects, and this is why they are targeted. It is, obviously, it's protecting from corruption. Crucially, the Supreme Court has been the protector of human rights of many. It established the rights of women to equal representation. It enabled civil marriages. It enabled conversions of reform and conservative movement. It recognized same-sex marriage and many other individual rights, including the rights of soldiers that are court-martials, the rights of prisoners, and the like. Only a year ago, the Supreme Court ruled that the state must acknowledge conversions in non-Orthodox communities performed in Israel. So these are multiple aspects. On the issue of the occupation, many of us protecting Palestinians have thought that the Supreme Court has not done enough to protect the rights of Palestinians. However, it is important to see that the court has blocked many of the government and the settlers' initiatives to go further down and kept Israel within the family of nations. It ruled that the disengagement from Gaza was legal and that the government has the power to evacuate settlers. It disqualified a law that thought to legalize takeover of private Palestinian lands for settlements, that's a regulation law. And not only in its decision, the Supreme Court has been a barrier from even going further with multiple initiatives to further take Israel away from its democratic nature. What I'm trying to say, among other things, is, and there are many high-tech people here, the occupation is not a bug, it's a feature. Think about it. Israel existed for 19 years before the occupation. It has now been 55 years since the occupation, and they are not turning away from it. They are only strengthening it. So the struggle is a single struggle. If we want to keep Israeli democracy together, we have to combine all of these struggles together, all of these groups together, and say that only a democracy that will defend human rights of everyone will be Israel's true democracy. I'm so happy to be here with you and to join these struggles together and to keep standing for a true Israeli democracy. We're not going back to what was. We are creating something new. Thank you.